What's up, geometry? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're looking at lesson 9.2 Pythagorean Theorem and its converse. So be able to use the Pythagorean Theorem to solve problems including right triangles. Still going to see like rationalizing the denominator, and then be able to classify triangles using the converse of the Pythagorean Theorem. So let's get started. This is the Pythagorean Theorem. You probably have already seen this before, sometime in Algebra 1 or in a previous math class. So we have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, where a and b are legs, and c is the hypotenuse. So this is used to find missing sides of right triangles as well, okay? So c is that hypotenuse. One way we know that's hypotenuse is it's across from the 90-degree angle. And then one way we remember that a and b are legs is a and b make the letter L for legs. So a and b are those ones making the right angle, okay? What we're going to do is just solve for x. Your answer must be exact. So that means taking the radical and simplifying it. So if I have this triangle, for example 1, I've got my a, b, and c. So I'm going to say a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So a squared plus 13 squared is equal to c squared. Or you can even say x squared at this point. That's 64 plus 169 is equal to x squared. When you add these together, you're going to get 233 is equal to x squared. So here's where we're going to be taking the square root of 233. And this is where we want to think about all the perfect squares that could possibly go into 233. Since it ends in an odd number, I just started by dividing by 49. That doesn't work. 233 divided by 81. That's not working. So what I'm thinking is 233 is in simplest form. So you can keep it like this, or round it to the nearest decimal, which I'm getting about 15.3. Okay. And then example number 2, same concept, except now I'm missing an a or a b, and I'm given c, so I'm going to say a is x. So I'm going to say x squared plus 7 squared is equal to 9 squared. So x squared plus 49 is equal to 81. And then to find x, we would need to subtract. Since we're already given c, we want to find the leg. That's the shorter side. So x squared is going to be equal to 32. So we can either find the square root of 32, which I'm thinking square root 16 times square root 2, which is 4 square root 2, or about 5.7. Okay. Next up, we have a picture or a word problem that we need to probably draw a picture for. A summer camp is building a new zipline course. The designer of the course wants the last zipline platform 450 meters above the ground. So I start by just drawing 450 meters above the ground. And then end 775 meters away from the base of that platform. So here's the platform. So 775 is this way. Okay. How long must the zipline be to meet the designer's specification? So zipline, we like start at the platform, we go all the way down, yay. So we're looking for c, so that's 450 plus 775, and we're going to square those to see what x squared could be. We're going to get some big numbers here. 450 squared is 202,500, and 775 squared is 600,625. Adding those together, we're getting 803,125. So finding that square root of 803,125 is going to be about 896.2 meters. Okay. Last little bit we're going to talk about is Pythagorean triples, and then using the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to type this definition out just to save us some time here. But that is going to be, actually I can just write this, that'll be fine. A set of 3 positive whole numbers, not 0, because we're measuring distance here, so that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So common triples are as follows. one we see a lot is 3, 4, 5. We see a lot of 5, 12, and 13. We see a lot of 8, 15, and 17. And then the fourth most common is 7, 24, and 25. So when we have these combinations, they can have different parts of equivalent ratios. So for example, if I take the 3, 4, 5 number and I multiply all those by 3, I would get 9, 12, and 15, which is still going to say a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared if I plug those in. So these are just the common triples that we would see. The other thing we're going to talk about is the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. So here's my Pythagorean theorem. So if a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, then the triangle is a right triangle. We know that, okay? But if a squared plus b squared is greater than c squared, that one is going to leave us with an acute triangle. And one way I remember this would be acute, notice my alligator's mouth is opening up to the side with the letter A. So that's going to help me remember it's acute, okay? And then if a squared plus b squared is less than c squared, which means c squared is longer than a and b combined, then that's going to make an obtuse triangle. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take those things and determine if we have an acute, obtuse, or right triangle. But first, we're going to figure out if it can form a triangle. So when we talk about forming a triangle, we want a plus b greater than c. Not squaring anything, just making sure I add two sides and it's going to be bigger than that third side. So first I test this out. Is 3 plus 7 greater than 9? Yes. So since it's yes, a triangle, now I can determine if it's acute, obtuse, or right. So I'm going to say 3 squared plus 7 squared is what to 9 squared? So that'd be 9 plus 49 is what comparison to 81? 9 plus 49 is 58. And 58 is less than 81. So if I look back up here, c squared is winning. So that one is going to ring an obtuse triangle. Okay. So then we try the next one. 20 plus 21 plus 29. If I add those just simply, 20 plus 21 is 41, and that is greater than 29. So yes, it's a triangle. So now I can take 20 squared plus 21 squared and see how it compares to 29 squared. I know 20 squared is 400, 21 squared is 441, and then 29 squared I got is 841. And if I add 400 and 441, I get 841. 841 is equal to 841. So I can say this is a right triangle because we had a squared plus b squared equaling c squared. Okay. And then our last one, if we take 4 plus 11 and see if it's greater than 16, it is not. 15 is not greater than 16. So this is not a triangle, which means if I tried to take these lengths, say if I took a ruler and measured 4 centimeters, 11 centimeters, and 16 centimeters, they wouldn't actually be able to enclose and make a triangle. The last part is when we're given some coordinates and we want to decide if it's a triangle and then see if it's acute, obtuse, or right. So what we need to use here is the distance formula. So I'm defining the distance of AB, of BC, and of AC. And remember, distance is just taking your x's, subtracting them, squaring them, doing the same thing for y. So A to B, I'm doing 2 minus 5, which is negative 3 squared. And then 2 minus 7 is negative 5 squared. That's going to be 9 plus 25. So the square root of 34. And I'm going to go ahead and put some decimals for these. So I'm going to say about 5.83. BC, B to C, 5 minus 10 is negative 5 squared. And then 7 minus 6 is 1 squared. So that's 25 plus 1. So square root 26, which is about 5.1 or 5.10. And then A to C, 2 minus 10 is negative 8 squared. And then 2 minus 6 is negative 4 squared. So that's 64 plus 16, which is about 80, or 4 square root 5, which is 8.94. And then I'm looking at, okay, 5.83, testing for triangle, plus 5.10, that is greater than 8.94. So yes, triangle, but now let's determine what it is. 5.83 squared plus 5.10 squared is what to 8.94? 5.83 squared I'm getting is 33.99. 5.10 squared I'm getting is 26.01. Adding those together, I'm getting about 60. And then 8.94 was 79.92. So 79.92 is greater. So that means C is greater, which means this has to be an obtuse triangle. Okay? And that's it. So hopefully that gives you some good leadway of how to use Pythagorean theorem and its converse. And tune in next time when we talk about special right triangles. Have a great day. Bye.